Hello class, this is Demetrius Wilson with BA 132, Computer Applications for Managers. We're now on to Chapter 3, us focusing on Microsoft Word Part 1. If you're very familiar with or use Microsoft Word at work, this won't be anything new to you. For those of you who don't use Microsoft Word at all, it'll be a good refresher. There's also a video posted in Module 3 that really goes through some of the nitty-gritty relative to Microsoft Word. So let's go on and check it out. It's something that's very, very important if you're using documents, especially in a Windows-based system. Microsoft Word is the most popular word processing program, typically because there are more Windows-based programs out there than there are Macs at this time. Opening a new file, so I love these little arrows because they kind of tell you where everything's located. If you look right here, you have a thing where you can save still that old floppy disk. I know none of you are still using floppy disks. You have undo button. Number 2, you have document Word, sign in if you need anything there. 3, we'll get into some of these a little later, but you have the different fonts where you can select, and the size, the style and everything format is all right there. You also have if you want a number or bullet point, anything there, any paragraph options, everything is right here. And typically, like if you're very, very new to a program like this, or if they come up with a new program and you have to learn everything all over again, then it's basically best to just go in and kind of click the buttons and see what everything does. And if you do so, then it's very, very helpful for you in terms of learning how to use Microsoft Word or any other program. If you want to save Word files, you see those, the few things at the end of it. You see Word files saved as a doc, right? .doc or .docx file. Simple as that. So we want to select and move text, and these things are just there'll always be keystrokes and key commands that match things that you do with your mouse. So you can always cut using Command X. All right, and it says copy using Command plus C. Now that's somewhat confusing because it's actually Control when you're dealing with with the Windows-based system. You're dealing with Word. You want to like Control copy, like so you highlight something, you Control C, you copy it, you Control V to paste. I don't know if they mean in the PowerPoint if they mean Command as Control as a command, but Command is a Mac. Like I said, I told you all I use both. On a Mac, if I use Command C, I copy it. Command V, I paste it. If I use a PC or Windows, which most of you are using, it is Control C and Control V. It's not Command. So just remember that part, not going along with what this necessarily says. Right-click selected text, copy or cut. Right, so same thing. So you can right-click on something and highlight it, then right-click on it, and then you can copy, you can cut and paste, and all that stuff from there, as opposed to using these key commands. Bold and italics, right, or underlined. So same thing. You want to hold Control and Control B for bold, Control I for italics, and Control U for underline. But you also, as you saw on that ribbon, that was a few places back, you saw that those options were there as well, right? So you have the bold, the italics, and the underline right there. So you can just simply highlight it and click any of those buttons too. So they're options. There's always 2 options for you. You can use the keystrokes, or you can use the actual mouse to complete everything. Font size, type, color, we looked at those too, but this is a more honed in, more focused version of the picture. You have that where you can choose your style, and then also the size as well. You can choose the color of the text, and then you can also choose a highlight if you like. You have all these different options there for font size, type, and color as well. Alignment, move cursor in a paragraph, click left align, like if you want everything to shift to the left, right align, if you want everything to the right, center, you want to write down the middle. Typically, want to do Excel documents, and I have information. I want to put those, center them, and, make it look pretty aesthetically pleasing, especially for a report or some document that you're sending in. Those things are good. So justification, control spacing between words. So unjustified text, right? You see that it's kind of just all over the place. But then you see justified, you see it's that straight line, the strict that says this is where it ends, and it's justified. And you can see unjustified text looks just like that, right? So picture's worth 1,000 words. Justified text looks like one nice, neat column there. Indentation, tab key at the start of a paragraph, so you can use your tab button. So use your drop down menu to indent. Line spacing, so you want to highlight the line, and then you see that you have these options here, which we showed earlier, but this is, like I said, a more focused view on it. You want to put 1 space, 1.5 spaces, 2 spaces, right? So you want to highlight the line, go to Home tab, line spacing button. It's right there for you as well. And then if you want to space your paragraphs out, right, you can click there, and then you can say add a space before paragraph, remove a space before paragraph, because there may be a space there that you don't necessarily want. So like it says there, distance between paragraphs, you can update that as well. You can add that space, or you can remove that space in terms of the paragraphs. Creating and formatting lists, so I've already talked about this one too. You can have the bullet points, you can have the numbers, you can have ABC, all kind of options there. So select the text, click bulleted or numbered list button, drop down menu, or more options, right? You have all these different, you can put the little arrows, if you want to get kind of fancy in your PowerPoint presentation, do a lot of different things. I've done it before. I've probably used all of these. I know I've used that. I don't think I've used check marks as much. Always use bullet points and numbers and letters as well. So this is a quick review. So like I said, these will always be pretty short. They're just things to enhance your reading, enhance what you're looking at, enhance the supplemented video that's posted. That's really good, going through the nuts and bolts of Word. But what you want to do is pause on here, and I'm not going to go through them all. I want you to pause the video and say, are you now able to create a Word document? Well, I'm sure most of you were already able to create a Word document. Can you save a file in Word, where you just go, you save it? Just make sure that you know before you click through it too quickly that you know where it's saving to. How do you distinguish between different file types when you use them? How do you reorganize text within a paragraph? Right? All these things I want you to review to make sure that you know and understand how to complete them. If you don't, then you need to go back to the beginning of the video. You also need to look through and peruse your text to ensure that you know how to complete everything, each and every one of these bullet points that are listed here. So that's it for chapter 3. Like I say, always make sure that you read the chapter, which is embedded in Canvas, so it's easily accessible in a PDF version as well as electronic version. Make sure that you complete the discussion. Please do the discussion early, because that way other students can have someone to respond to, and we can have some back and forth dialogue. That always helps the class. So if you do anything, please complete that discussion pretty early. Complete your assignment, and then complete your quiz as well. All of this should be done prior to Sunday at 11:59. But also, like I said, if you could, please respond to the discussions pretty early, so we can have a conversation, because when we move to Module 4, nobody's going to go back and look at the discussions in Module 3. So that's it. Hope you guys all are doing well. Everybody stay strong. Continue. We only had the couple of chapters earlier, in the first week, and now we just have one chapter, so should be all smooth sailing from here. As always, I want you guys all to have a good day and a great week.